Oh, Papa's coming out swinging, boys. Well, actually, my audience is 70% female. So I guess it would be girls? It just doesn't have the same vibe. Just for context, this is Jason Hawes. He was on the show Ghost Hunters, and he has come out in full defense of his daughter, Satori. You gotta give it to him. He came out in full defense of his daughter, regardless of how stupid her claims were. She's claiming her and her boyfriend, husband, whatever, have magical, fantastical powers, and he's coming out defending her. So let's get right into it.
They were doing their technique, which they've been doing for years, where they hold hands, they get knocking, and they count through letters of the alphabet, and go from there. So the videos came out. They were very well received.
I don't know about that, Pops, because you got Josh, who's already cut ties. You have Sam and Colby, who are under a lot of pressure because their entire Reddit has gone full brigade on exposing Cody and Satori. They're about to make a video on that. You have debunkers like me, Shape, Beardo, Gray, all the greats, all the legends. You have them making videos on this subject, and nobody believes your daughter or her boyfriend, husband, whatever, that they have these magic powers.
I've always said, look deeper. Look for the real explanation. Try to figure out what's truly going on.
Okay. That's exactly what we've done. And we've exposed that your son-in-law is clicking his toes.
Some people,
pretty sure he's talking about me,
instead of doing that, have gone straight to the negative aspect, the full-blown attacks. You know, you're liars, you're frauds, you're scam artists. You're popping joints just like the Fox sisters used to.
Yeah. Would you like some examples? Here, I'll give them to you. Lying. Cody was doing this 11 years ago. There's videos of that on YouTube. He was playing the whole human Ouija board thing before Satori. And by fraud, it's literally the dictionary, the Oxford Dictionary example. Mediums exposed as tricksters or frauds. They are literally textbook definition fraudsters. And for con artists, I mean, isn't that pretty straightforward? I mean, the definition is a person who cheats or tricks others by persuading them to believe something that's not true. That's literally what they're doing here. And yeah, they are popping their joints just like the Fox sisters. The only difference is the Fox sisters weren't doing this in front of millions of people with 4K resolution. I mean, I literally have a video showing him roll his ankle to pop it, and then doing that like 3 times in a row.
So, people can say whatever they want. Of course, that's just the way the world is.
Technically, it's just America. The rest of the world doesn't have the right to free speech like we do.
But the fact of the matter is, you have to be there to experience the activity. You have to be there to experience these knocks.
No, I don't. Here, I could actually do it right here in my room. Here. You ready? Here we go. Is that a ghost?
They're not popping joints.
Yeah, they are.
We've set up we set up vibration sensors and other devices.
What do you mean by vibration sensor? I can click my toes, and that makes a sound. Sound is a vibration. And where do you think my toes are clicking to? They're not clicking upwards, they're clicking downwards. So they're going to hit the floor, and they're going to vibrate the floor with the impact. So that vibration sensor is going to tell you diddly squat.
But when you're there in the moment and they're doing this, these knocks are coming from all around.
No, it's not. It's coming from 2 stinky feet. He's clicking his toes. It's echoing around in the room.
So all I'm saying is, bottom line, look deeper, dig deeper, look for the real explanation.
See, I actually have a magic power, a real one. I can read between the lines. What's going on is you don't want us to find the real explanation, which is just toe or ankle popping. You want us to find a paranormal explanation, a constantly evolving conversation, so that it generates more clicks, more views, more engagements, more registrations of the Conjuring House, which, you know, Satori obviously makes money off of. And ultimately what I'm getting at is more money for you guys, rather than us going, hey, you're actually kind of defrauding us and you're just popping your toes and trying to be famous for it.
But I think there just doesn't need to be such negativity, such personal attacks.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop you right there, buddy. That's not happening. No legitimate YouTuber has done any form of a personal attack against you, Cody, Satori, Colby, Sam, Seth, Josh, any of them that have even worked with them. Nobody's done that whatsoever. They have simply called out what they're doing, which is cracking their toes, and they've called them charlatans, scammers, con artists, liars, because they are charlatans, scammers, con artists, liars, fraudsters, whatever you want to call it. They are doing that. That is on paper. That's what they're doing. And for you to sit there and use your notoriety in the paranormal community, your fame from television, and try to invent a problem of personal attacks and super negativity. None of that's happening. You are inventing that, trying to farm sympathy points from the commenters below.
As a guy who's done TV for 20 plus years.
Okay, I'm going to break the fourth wall here. I'm just going to save you guys some time. He's invented a problem to which he is going to do correlation to by saying, well, I was on television, which gives him authority. And I had people make fun of me for my bald head or whatever. And so he's going to correlate Satori being under scrutiny and him being under attack for having a bald head as the same thing, when correlation and causation are two different things. The causation of him being attacked for bald is he's bald. The causation for Satori being under attack is she's lying to people and Googling their family's information and then telling that, you know, fake messages from their dead relatives, and then, you know, Cody's tapping his tootsies around her and they're trying to lie to everybody. Those are two different beasts, and he's trying to take an authoritative stance because he was on television, as if that gives anyone authority, and is trying to dupe everyone in that stance. So just don't fall for that kind of junk.
But then there were some out there who pretty much made it personal attacks, who would say just negative things about you, attack the way you looked or your character, or no matter what, you were a fraud, you were a scam artist. And, you know, these things hurt. To be personally attacked like that and have everything you do, your credibility, the way you look, called into question, it's horrible. I mean, no matter who you are, it hurts, bottom line. And now there are those out there who want to do that towards Satori and Cody. And you know what? Question everything, always look for an answer, but you don't have to be just downright mean. You don't have, there's no way you can even have a conversation about something if the only thing you want to say is you're a fraud, you're a liar, you're a scam artist. It's ridiculous. You don't even allow the opportunity to talk back and forth about it, to open dialogue.
What do you mean by no chance for open dialogue? Do you need an invitation? It's not a surprise party. It is the internet. I mean, you could go and chime in at any point in time. I mean, that's literally what I did. I saw something, I didn't like it, walked outside with my camera, pointed my camera at my feet, started clicking my toes, and said, I think that's what they're doing. And then everybody agreed with me. And then I started getting sent a bunch of stuff about them lying, and a bunch of videos of them started popping up all over the internet, and I just simply compiled them together, chimed in without an invitation. I mean, you could, if you want to debunk my debunks, go to Cody, take his shoes off, take his socks off, make him get into shorts, have him sit on a couch with his feet off the ground, where you can see his feet and his toes and his ankles, and then have the spirits do their tippy taps around him. But that's not going to happen. I know that's not going to happen. You know how I know? Because he's clicking his toes.
Because you're so filled with hate, and now you've put that person in such a defense mode that they don't want to talk with you anyways, or they just don't want to do anything. They don't want to even be involved in the field anymore.
So nobody really hates Cody or Satori. They're more just, well, actually, hold on. There is one commenter that I had that said they got screwed over by them in real life, allegedly, and said they were real nasty people. But other than that, no video I have seen outright hates Cody or Satori. They're disgusted by their actions. For me, it has to do with the whole dead relative thing and the cancer thing, using cancer as an excuse to not pop your toes. That's hocus pocus bullcrap. You know, Cody dying from cancer and coming back, and that's his source of magical powers. I'm not buying that. That's disgusting. Don't do that. People's families have been destroyed by that. My family was destroyed by that. You know, and then you have the whole contacting dead relatives, you know, going to people's Facebook pages, obituary pages, and pulling up this information when families are grieving and talking about their loved ones, and then using that as a tool to emotionally destroy them in that moment, so it's super believable, so they'll never question you. That's cult behavior. That's disgusting. It's abhorrent, and that's what people are mad about. And then to say that, you know, you're implying Satori, but it could be Cody as well, but you're implying that Satori doesn't even want to be a part of Paranormal anymore. Well, if neither of them can prove that they have phantasmal powers in a believable way, then maybe that's best. Because they're making these claims and they're unable to back it up, and now that they've been accused, all of a sudden they're just like, oh, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. If you had magic powers, you wouldn't mope around and go, ah, shucks, I don't want to do this no more. You would go, okay, well, I guess we gotta show them. Let's see if we can find a spirit that is willing to show us this. Instead of denying to do a blind test where Sam was gonna hold up a card with a shape that they could not see and have the spirit tell them that. Because that's the simplest way. Somebody holds up a card and the spirit goes, star. Ah, magic powers approved. But magically the spirit's denied. And Cody looked really, really distraught. Come on.
I mean, so you're not helping, you're hurting. And let's be honest, there's no reason that you need to be such an asshole from behind a keyboard.
See, I do have a reason to be an asshole behind a keyboard. Which is wild, because you were just complaining about personal attacks and name-calling and that kind of stuff, but now you're doing it. Weird. See, cancer took my father from being the strongest person I knew to the point where his teeth fell out of his own face. And he couldn't even lift up his head off of his bed. And I'm supposed to be okay with these two lollygagging around using cancer as an excuse for having magic powers, and they can talk to the dead, and they're just Googling people's, dead relatives and just, destroying these people, giving them, extreme emotional reactions just so they can get what? Money? No, I'm not going to be okay with that. And I will be an asshole behind a keyboard if that's what I'm stopping. Also, I'm not hiding behind a keyboard. You want to fly down here and I'll tell you the same thing to your face?
Show some respect. At least these people put themselves out there knowing damn well that they were going to be scrutinized, they were going to be questioned. But they didn't put themselves out there expecting some of those negative personal attacks. I don't think anybody would do that willingly. And you got these YouTubers, you got people on TV that truly are trying to do things. They're trying to further this field, and they're not prepared for that. So you want to sit behind a keyboard and tear somebody apart. That makes you feel good? Well, then those people are not the problem. You are. And you need to look in the mirror on that one. So all I'm asking is be more respectful. Yes, she's my kid. And am I saying this because she's my kid? It definitely enticed me to make this video. Because I don't think anybody should be like that towards anyone. There's enough hate in this world. You don't need to steal it from behind a computer just constantly, just to make yourself feel better. I mean, geez, nobody needs to be a douchebag 24/7. So I do have to say, if you're spending your hours during a day sitting behind a keyboard looking for things to say negative about somebody or looking to tear somebody apart, then they're not the problem. The problem is you.
So for you to sit on a high horse and, call people assholes and say they're hiding behind a keyboard just because we proved that your daughter and your son-in-law were lying. You can do that all day long, but at the end of the day, it's not going to change the fact that Cody and Satori are fraudulent. They're charlatans. They're scammers. They are liars. And at the very, very end of the day, whenever he goes to bed, neither of them have magic powers. The only thing they got is shin splints from popping his goddamn ankle all day long. So you can hop off the high horse. You can come back down to reality. I understand you have to defend your daughter. You don't really have a choice. But she has tanked her reputation. She has tanked Cody's reputation. She has tanked your reputation now. And along with that, because they're Conjuring staff, there goes the Conjuring house. There goes Jacqueline Nunez. There goes, Sam, Colby, Seth, Josh, all of them. They're all going down with this is how much Satori is tanking the paranormal community. They're not furthering anything. They're damaging what's already there. People already think paranormal people are kooky. From the outside, they're just going to think, well, it's liars debating. You're yelling at other liars who think, who are arguing over who's lying least. That's what the outside thinks. And this is Satori's fault. And you should have guided her better on that. But hey, at the end of the day, didn't you fake stuff on Ghost Hunters too? Maybe she's just following Papa's footsteps after all. So I decided to poke the bear. I said she used cancer as a defense and a reason for having magic powers, and faking contact with dead relatives is scum behavior. Jason responded and said she has never used cancer as a defense. Yeah, she did. There's 1,300 people watching her on Instagram Live, where she said Cody had cancer. If you popped anything, it ain't going back in place. That is a defense for the accusation of popping toes and ankles. And then goes on to say Cody had cancer. It's medically documented, all that. No one's questioning that. I don't give two hoots if you did or didn't. She also never claimed magic powers. Oh, yeah. If you hold hands with somebody and the ghost starts, doing tippy-tappy dances around you like a Disney movie, I'm going to start asking you where the fairy godmother is because I want some of those powers too. And then said it's just silly gossip. That's 100% what I'm talking about. If you ask questions, people could answer, but you come here all angry throwing out incorrect information that you got somewhere. Well, all of my information came directly from the horse's mouth. It came from Cody, Satori, Sam, Colby, Josh or whoever else's channels they were on, including Cody long ago, like 10, 12 years ago, when he was doing the human Ouija board stuff then too. So that's where I got my information. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was unexpected. It just kind of popped up in my feed, and I decided to break it down and do a full video on this because I thought it was just more baloney. Later.